is where the fun begins. This is where the fun begins. This is where the fun. This is where the fun. This is where the fun begins.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
This is where the fun begins.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to very rare Monday Night Toy Anxiety. You've heard of Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Nitro.
You've heard of Monday Nitro. You've heard of Case of the Mondays, but now we got Monday Night Toy Anxiety. Like I said, it's rare. This is the chase variant. This is the the figures in the package upside down. You think it's worth more? I'm so sick of those.
The 1 in 500.
You ever see these posts on Facebook groups like, I found a Luke Skywalker, but he's upside down like a crazy man. You think it's worth more? No.
That's a mistake, not a collectible.
There you go. Mistakes aren't collectibles. Which is why I'm not a collectible. Hi, everybody. My name's Craig. Welcome to Toy Anxiety.
Love the Craig.
Wow.
I'm not a mistake.
Thank you all for being here. I see everyone's excited to join up and saying this is a good end to their Monday.
Yeah, I know. Monday's tough for everybody, but here, welcome to Monday Night Toy Anxiety. We're going to have a wrestling theme show tonight. I can already feel it.
Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
The greatest night in our sport.
Got a rivalry.
Let's go ahead and introduce everybody before we get going. We all had a fun weekend. We all did a little bit of toy hunting. We all went to different conventions and toy shows, and we spent time with friends. Ryan Dole, how are you doing, man? What's going on up there in Vancouver?
What? That's my Stone Cold impression. All right. Everything is going.
I mean, we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could riff on that if you want.
We could riff on that. Yeah, no, it was a great weekend. It was a busy weekend. We'll get into it much later, but bought some toys. Toys were received. Toys were looked at. Toys were bought before I went back and got them.
You did it.
I
yelled at Ryan.
Jake,
I told Ryan doesn't know about that rule when you go to a toy show. If you see something and you walk away with plans to get it later,
It's not the time, dude. It's not the time, not the place.
Well,
You get burned.
yeah. So, anyways, usually it's not like that at that toy show. Usually it's kind of like, oh, I can do a quick lap and come back, and it's usually there.
right?
This particular weekend, none of that. Right? Like,
I love it.
More
love
people were out.
Yeah, people are out.
people were out. Yeah, man. Everyone had their
COVID-
Steve Weisers, and they were having a good time. So,
COVID's
You
last
try and get a
year's
table
news.
at Olive Garden.
Yeah, we went to Olive Garden. No masks. We're living in
no masks, no wives.
Yeah.
no masks, no wives.
It was fantastic.
My wife
but
wasn't
anyways,
working. So unfortunate.
Before we go any further, I do want to acknowledge, just like we have with COVID in the past and other things, we understand the world is a crazy place. There's a lot of really scary and shitty things happening. That's not why we're here tonight to talk about those things. We're here to have some fun and forget all of our troubles and talk toys. But we hope everybody's out there. We know these things cause anxiety and things of that nature. So just chill. Take a
Talk
deep
about
breath.
fake anxiety, about buying things.
This is the real anxiety.
Yeah.
Jake, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. Had a good weekend. I do want to go ahead and say that all my pickups for this week were all birthday presents. I didn't buy any of these toys.
That's
I
good.
just want to go ahead right off the top, and I want to thank J.K., Tokyo Toy Town for the presents. Craig, Abby, thank you for the presents. And also an equal heartfelt fuck you to Dave at Dave's Toys in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it.
Okay.
We said it was going to be a wrestling. I said I had a rivalry when I started.
I want to interview We got a big match coming up this Wednesday night at the Macon Coliseum. Jacob Walsh taking on Dave from Dave's Comics and Toys.
The bowling man himself.
No. We just let a little programming note, and you'll find out why a little bit later. We're going to probably do a little switch tonight. We might do our pickups a little bit later in the show.
Sure. Okay.
But so Jake, we spent the weekend together. Abby, you were there.
I was there. It was a really fun weekend. We celebrated Jake. I made him a banner. I blew up balloons.
Very
I'm gonna
beautiful.
give. Thank you.
Can we talk about how Jake ruined his surprise banner?
Well, I didn't ruin it. You guys ruined it by not opening the door.
I was in the shower. I thought you weren't coming for a couple hours, so I thought I had time.
It's like 4:30 on Friday. I'm in the back finishing my work day in the back room. I work from home. Abby's in the shower. The house is peaceful. The house is clean. The house is quiet. I'm editing, doing all sorts of shit. I look down. I have like 5 texts from Jake. It's like, I'm here. 5 minutes later. I'm in your house. 5 minutes later. Once again, just to let you know.
I was like, heads up. I am in your house.
I'm in your house.
Ooh, toy anxiety in your house this Sunday.
Toy anxiety
in your house.
In your house. Period.
Okay. So listen, that was a lot of fun. And we went to the Days of the Dead convention in Atlanta, Georgia. Met some folks. Had a good time, met some listeners. It was fun, man. We really did have a good time. Just say this right off the bat, not a great convention for buying toys.
If you want a candle or handmade soap or
overpriced NECA.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of candles, I'm going to just say this one right off the bat. So there's this person that sells like, those Jesus candles, those that are just like a cup and they've got like Jesus on them. You like them? Yes. No, this one was selling all those kind of candles, but instead of Jesus, it was wrestlers.
Okay.
And I kind of forgot about it until you guys just said it about the candles. Cause now I want to get that Bret Hart candle and light it for every toy anxiety.
Love candles.
We need that. We might have to do that. I've seen Ghostbusters versions of those candles. All sorts of stuff like that. Hey, by the way, we got a crazy amount of people in the chat. So hi, everybody. We hope everyone's having a good night. Let's say hi to some people. We're live here on a Monday night. Now, normally, if you're new to the channel, by the way, Tuesday night is normally when we do Toy Anxiety at 9:30. But Abigail and I have tickets for a early screening of The Batman tomorrow night.
Oh, you know it.
So we it's all about us.
Monday.
So we rearrange things.
And we can't talk to Craig or Abby for the next 3 days until the rest of us see it.
Exactly.
Legit STFU. That's what I said this morning.
And unfortunately, John Yerkeva not seeing it until sometime in like June. So I don't know what he's going to do.
He's going to download it. Come on.
Okay. Here we go. The Toon Grump is here. Hi. The Ward Duke X. Back to the Toon Grump. Randalorian's here. John Yerkeva, Tony Taylor, The Flash, Jason Smith, Eric Munoz, Zachary Crago, Jim Maritato, Matt Ramika, Mark Camphausen. We already said hi to John. David Cabal, all good. Ray Cameron, and so on. Jason Chrysler. Joseph May says, hoping this turns into an impromptu episode of Cardio. Haven't seen Craig pull a background character from The Force Awakens in nearly 72 hours. University got to offset. Listen, if you want Maz's Cantina background aliens, I got them, okay?
Craig, your guy.
First Order is on the patrol.
If you need First Order officers, Craig's your man.
If you need unnamed Imperial officers that were in 5 seconds of episode 4 of the season 1 of The Mandalorian, I probably got them.
You want a good dose of the Gungbergs? Craig's got them.
I noticed, so when we pull a Greg Grunberg card, we always say we got Grunberg. I noticed other people in the card community said it's called getting snapped because it's Snap Wexley is his character name. So
I still prefer Grunberg.
Well, the snap's kind of funny.
Okay.
Anyways. So anyways, a lot of fun. We're gonna have some fun tonight. We're gonna talk toys. We're gonna kind of reverse it. Like I said, we're gonna get into some news first. Does that sound okay? Does anybody have anything else before we get going?
I like the news.
Yeah, I like news.
Yeah.
I like news.
Let's do news.
I like news.
I like news.
I'm a
okay.
pilot.
I love news.
By the way, I gotta say, thank you once again to our guest last week. We did the special double episode of Toy Anxiety. Trevor, I almost called him NECA Zamet. That's not his name. Trevor Zamet from NECA. We talked Turtles. I was feeling real itchy and real, needing some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures after talking to Trevor last week. I did put my pre-order in for the 2-pack with for the Zach, the fifth turtle, and the crooked Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle gang members. I bought a couple of those. I did not buy 6, like Trevor said. You gotta get 6 of those.
Not a real fan.
You're not a real fan?
I'm not. I'm 100% not. But that's fine.
Hey, I wanna just chime in here with some actual toy stress really quick. Just
go for it.
This is real time stress. I'm sitting here.
Yes.
I'm looking over. I just happened to look over while you were talking, and I realized 2 things. I got a gremlin missing a hand that I've never noticed until right this second.
Okay.
And all of my Toxic Crusaders have fallen over, and they're just like almost falling out of the shelf. And
here's my stress.
And now I'm gonna stare at it the whole time.
That glow in the dark.
That's it. That's
that glow in the dark Super 7 Toxie.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure I ordered it, and I remember ordering it. No, I looked today. I don't know where in the house it is.
I know you have it because I remember when you got it and you were like, yeah, mine came in. But dude, I saw your toy room this weekend.
Yeah.
It's in there somewhere.
It's in there. I gotta dig it
Good
out.
luck.
It's in the flag. He's like
It's
captaining the USS flag.
It's like finding a needle in a stack of needles.
Yes,
it
dude. When
is.
something falls and it knocks some other things over, you'll just never get to him.
The
honestly, with the cases you have,
the toy room is always a work in progress. By the way, as we go, if you guys have comments, questions, or general musings, let us know in the chat. Abby's going to be manning the chat and sharing.
I just realized that's why you're doing cardio in the back room, because there's no room for you anymore in the toy room.
I've run out. Well, I'm not going to open cards in the toy room. It's a whole separate mindset.
Oh, you have a card room now?
You can't mix them.
It's the
your little
room.
incel back room where you watch Joker videos and open cards.
Yes, and he gets 4th meal.
We saw that Joker truck at the movie theater this weekend. We were like, I was the only one like, I kind of want that.
I was gonna say you're back there. You're back there on eBay looking up decals, Joker decals for the car.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, my new license
got a license plate that says society.
Yeah, I thought it was, or like a Y space SO space SRS.
A little long, but okay.
Dude.
All right, let's get
Give
to
us
some
super
news.
chats to get Craig to wear the Heath Ledger nurse costume.
No,
If we get 200 likes and $50 in super chats, Craig will dress up like Heath Ledger Joker in the next week's Toy Anxiety to celebrate that we all saw Batman.
Absolutely,
I want to do that. I will.
You guys ever notice in that scene? You guys ever notice, like, in that scene, whenever Joker's dressed like the nurse and he's in there with Two-Face and he's got a mask on, and Two-Face looks right at him, but doesn't react until it's like he doesn't know it's the Joker until he takes the mask off.
Hey, who's this goth nurse that's helping me out?
He's like, oh, she's kind of hot. He takes the mask off.
He's like, I thought they evacuated the hospital staff. What's going on? By the way, if we can get 200 likes on this video, I'll let Jake tattoo that Jared Leto mouth on my hand.
Oh,
with all the Haas.
So,
500 likes.
What is this?
What is that?
What is it? Who is it?
What the Toy Anxiety running? This is unprecedented. Who is it? Who's it gonna
Sabotage.
Oh, look at
everybody! Hello.
It's gotta be Paul!
Woo! Gotta be Paul!
Unbelievable! Please!
Oh my God, it worked. Look at this, joining us all the way from Ryan's neighborhood, Paul Sun-Hyung Lee, back on Toy Anxiety. Paul, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. I'm just fresh from the set of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Had to take all the, the makeup and stuff off. Driver rushed me here. It was awesome. It's raining in Vancouver for a change.
Yeah.
And I've opened up a White Claw. I don't care. I
You're
like
good.
it.
So you're
So
good.
here we go. Here we go.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
and
need what a downgrade. You went from the set of the last Airbender to toy anxiety.
No, what are you kidding? This is awesome. I'm loving this. I'm loving it.
Thank you.
So, Paul, we know that you and Ryan did some toy hunting this weekend, becoming
could call
fast
it that.
friends. If
Yeah,
you could call
yeah.
it
Well,
that.
little do you guys know that all this stuff now is really a backdrop, and I'm actually in the room beside him because I moved in.
He won't
That's a big
leave.
joke. He never left.
Yeah, yeah.
He got
So
back a couple of weeks ago, and that's it.
that's the
I'm
driver's.
in your house.
The driver comes in. Paul's like, "I got another task for you. Please remove Ryan Dole from my residence." Paul, welcome to the show. We thank you for being here. And since you've been out and about, you're filming. Last time you were here, you were under some protocol, but you're happy, you're healthy. I love it. And we also got to see you on the Book of Boba Fett. You didn't spoil it, so that was a nice surprise. I think it was like 2 days later.
Was it?
Yeah. I think it was that same week.
You have no idea how difficult that was to do.
Steel trap.
I mean, I every time people were talking about it, I swear to God, I thought my nose was going to start bleeding. I was holding it in so much. It's like, just you wait. Like,
I love it.
Yes.
Stop
I love
shitting
it.
on the show. I'm going to be on it. Stop shitting on the show. Right? Just like,
I think if that was me, I would end up going the opposite direction. I'd be like, "Oh, Boba Fett, I don't know what that is. What is that?
Right.
Never heard of that.
Yes.
Explain."
Is that is that one of those Disney Plus things?
Yeah.
Well, Paul, we were gonna get into some news because we covered a lot of the Toy Fair news last week, but there was the toy news keeps rolling, and the first thing we were gonna cover, if I can figure out how all these buttons work, there we go, is the announcement, the long-awaited announcement, or at least somewhat long-awaited announcement of the Blitzway 1/6 scale Afterlife Ecto-1. I'm using toyark.com as I do for some of these images, so thank you to Toyark. Let's just roundtable it. Paul, you're our guest. I'll start with you. Do you have the first Blitzway Ecto, and will the Afterlife one be something you're interested in?
I do not have the first one. When it first came out, I thought this is ridiculous. 1/6 scale, too big. And the price point, come on.
Right.
And then I saw it, and I was like, God damn it. And I missed out. So I got FOMO so hard. Like, honestly, it's ridiculous. But back then, I also wasn't into 1/6 scale. I've since fallen down the rabbit hole, the Hot Toys rabbit hole. In fact, I made this. My wife is going to be so happy. B from Cherry Bomb Toys in Victoria introduced me to 3A, which became 3.0, it's got all these different iterations. But I ended up buying like another 1/6 scale figure from another line, just based solely on the aesthetic of it. Like, I love the look of this dead astronaut. And so, like, there's that rabbit hole that I went down to. So, like, this Ghostbusters Afterlife, that's a slam dunk. My wife will kill me. But I think it is be worth it just because, I mean, I love the character of it too. I loved Afterlife, the movie. I love that the Ecto is broken down. You see it. I love the modifications they're making to it. Apparently the gunner seat is going to be functional there too. My grail is trying to hunt down those Blitzway 1/6 figure, 1/6 scale Ghostbusters figs. I mean, this is for me. I'm just like, honestly, I'd also pre-ordered the DeLorean, Back to the Future 2 DeLorean as well.
Me too.
Yeah, and it was just like, my
By
wife,
the way,
I know
we have a DeLorean coming.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're expecting.
We're expecting.
But it's one of those things where it's just like, how can you not? And my wife is like, because we have no room. Basically, it's not the cost of it now. It's just literally space that has become an issue. But I mean, when stuff comes in, stuff has to go out. And I made the vow, I'm done with Black Series. So my Black Series collection, the door.
Wow, that's a big.
Damn. Yeah.
That's a big. Okay.
Yeah, I made that promise, just like the sword maker in Kill Bill. He swore he would never make another Hattori Hanzo blade. And then in true fucking fashion, sorry, I'm swearing, but what did I get at the toy fair? 2 more friggin' like Black Series figures that I swore I would never get.
Wow.
So it's like it's Fennec and it's
that.
Bill Burr. And then
That's funny.
And swearing is
the universe really doling out justice, ironic justice. So these were super expensive initially, and you haggle. I'm so out of shape haggling. And the couple, they knocked it down a few bucks. I was like, yeah, okay, you broke my word. Take my money. We go to another table, and Buddy's got the exact same figs.
Yeah.
You should never, ever do this. If you've purchased something, don't go to another table and ask, hey, how much is this? To make yourself feel better, to think, oh, I got these for a steal. Because he listed the price, and it was a good $10 cheaper to start with than these were. And so that was the universe, sort of clapping back to me and saying, this is what you get.
Well, this is, I mean, we'll get back to the Ecto in a second. By the way, I do want to, we had a super chat, so we have to acknowledge. Ray Cameron says,
do you want to get some piano music for that before you read it?
Listen, normally I would just not even acknowledge, but if anybody knows the finite details of the gunner seat, it's Ray Cameron. So shout out to Ray for being eagle-eyed. It won't matter to most collectors. It won't matter to me.
Right.
Now, Paul, those Black Series figures that you were just holding up, that's part of that wave that's really hard to find. Now, I was able to pre-order, or not even pre-order. Hasbro Pulse had the Bib Fortuna and the Jetta Trooper and one more of them. Oh, the Bill Burr figure in stock, but I have not seen Fennec or Boba Fett anywhere, and people are paying a lot of money for them. So I'm glad you got them.
Yeah.
Well, do you want them?
No. I'm not going to take them from you. This isn't a pitch to like give me.
No. I mean, but it wouldn't be that. I mean, I made a vow. I broke that vow. I broke that vow, and now this is I mean, I did the unboxings for these, so they have been open, and the resale value has dropped. But I reboxed them.
Okay.
But it's one of those things where I'm kind of like, I had buyer's remorse almost immediately. It's that whole like that moment where it's like, I vowed I would never kill again, and then there it is with blood on his hands type thing. So
I love these comparisons of the Kill Bill,
and I really feel like that. These I got these for a reason. They should go to people who really enjoy them. Much like Ryan, you got that Batmobile, the Jada Batmobile. It's just like, I love it. It's cool, but it's like, I know somebody else who would just die if he got this. Ryan's still around with us, unfortunately, but I gave it to him anyway.
Craig, this is where you just say thank you.
Yeah, just say thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm not used to this. I always tell Ryan, the Canadian kindness is something that is hard for me to understand. The here in America, I would rather burn my Black Series figures than just let somebody else who wants them have them. No, I mean, those are cool. Getting back to the Ecto real quick, I do want to kind of roundtable it. Does anybody? I didn't get the first Ecto. Because it was Paul, same reasons. It's big, it's expensive. I mean, it's not just a big 112, or 1/6 scale car. It's an Ecto-1, so it's like the biggest one. It's 6 feet long. Jake, is this something that you're going to consider getting into?
I mean, maybe it is so expensive and it is big, and then also I got that. The build a Ecto from whoever's doing the build Eagle Moss, so that's already on my floor. So am I going to have 2 giant Ectos on my floor? Maybe. We'll see. Like, I want it, but I haven't jumped on it yet, but it's just
my thing is I want figures, right? Like if they said they're going to do some figures from Afterlife, then to me it's like a big time home run, because like that will make the display. Like you get a Phoebe and a Trevor and a podcast and all that.
But as well, they're gonna have like old Venkman, just like the Plasma series did. Ghost Egon, old Zeddemore, old Stans. I mean, that for me, when I saw those figures come out for Plasma series, I was like, okay, insta buy. Like I needed to have them just because it is a nod to the nostalgia.
Right.
But it is as well one of those things where it's like, this is the direction that the franchise is going. It is an acknowledgement of the aging of our heroes and our idols. And it's like, I don't get very many figures in any scale where they are of a certain age. Right? Like a lot of the figures that are like young and spry and super muscular and this and that, which is awesome. But these are the guys that were like, you don't get a ton of old Hans or old Leia's, right? Like, or old Luke's. You don't get a ton of those. And so those ones for me are a little bit more precious because it's as I get older as well, my fandom, as that grows, it's a nice touchstone to that. And so there's something that I really love about the whole idea of a classic car or a starship that's taken out of mothballs and been, coming back, and it's got such a history to it. That's what attracts me to that Afterlife Ecto. It's like, it's something from my youth. It's aged. It's been, revitalized, replenished, renewed, and it's in use again. And you see that old gal in its glory. For me, was just so viscerally emotional. That was so much easier for me to pull the trigger on than the old Ecto.
I'm gonna cry.
I literally am getting choked up while you talk about this.
I just bought two.
I feel the same.
Yeah.
Did that?
No, it's
Did
great.
it work? That'll work on my wife, right? Thank you,
It'll work.
Francis.
Yeah,
We recorded
It
that.
worked on me.
Just watch
He's
this.
like, and scene.
Yeah,
I know, dude.
It's just-
Bravo.
We'll have her watch this. We'll keep an eye. Like we'll do it'll be like a testing when they test TV audiences. Like she'll have a little ball, and like as her emotions are going, she's like going to the left. Like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit more generous to the right.
Somebody
one time
really
me and
loves
Abby-
Bikini Guy.
Right.
Yeah.
One time me and Abby had to do that. We were killing time in Las Vegas before a flight. We signed up for an NCIS testing, and Abby, we didn't know what show it was going to be. And as soon as NCIS came on, Abby goes click all the way to the left. She's like, I hate this.
I think I took pleasure in like downvoting.
You're such a troll. No, I agree with what you were saying, by the way. They did one old Han and one old Leia figure, and neither one of them had great faces. They're finally in Black Series doing a re-release of the Han Solo figure with the new face scan technology. So I agree. Those were all really good points. And if you didn't want it before, you probably want it now. AJ Quick super chat, thank you. Almost 1/4 of the way to Craig getting a Joker tattoo. Okay, let's calm down here. It was in jest.
Keep them coming, y'all.
No pun intended. You want to know how I got these cars? That's what Paul's gonna say to his wife. Sorry. Anyways, so what else? So there's some more news. This was kind of interesting. We can talk about this real quick. Our guy Ryan, your boy Todd.
These ones all big and chunky. We got like small ones here. If you check them out, they turn at the waist. Their heads turn. Their arms go up and down. And the best part is they come with comic books, so you can play with the toy, read about the character. It all comes together. $9.99. You'll find this at all your favorite retailers. He nails it, man. Nobody sells it better than Todd. But Todd, he's Canadian, man. We're allowed to do that. You're not. And
well, we're all doing. You're doing like a New York. I don't know what the accent is.
Dude, eventually, I just turn into Bill Burr.
That's what you're doing, Bill Burr.
Every time you do McFarlane, it's a different accent.
Yeah,
it's different every time.
So McFarlane, they announced this line called Page Punchers, where you get like a 3-inch figure. It's a small figure. It's not a 3 3/4 figure. It's not in scale with like your vintage collection or anything like that. But you get a little figure and you get a comic book, and in classic toy fan fashion, I think this is pretty cool. It's fun. I think it's great, especially if you're a kid in the store. You see this, it promotes reading a comic book. You get a toy.
I can see these hanging out by the till and not in the toy section.
Right. The what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the till.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like the cashier.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing though was all the toy fans going, $10. how is this $10? Hasbro told us you can't make toys for $10 anymore.
Yeah. Well, on top of that too, like the comic itself is probably
your move
$4.
reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your move reaction, exactly. But the comic itself is like $4 if you went to the comic store.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're pretty much paying $6 for the action figure. So I'm like, I think these are actually going to go hot with collectors. Just because of the price point, and they actually don't look too bad. Like that Batman looks pretty good.
I mean, it also like it comes in this nice little plastic case. Like it's a cool little display piece, especially if you're like, there's budget consciousness to it, but there's also space wise, it doesn't take up that much space. But who are we kidding? Let's talk about hot toys and stuff. Nobody wants us to.
Let's talk about the toys we're actually going to buy. None of us are buying those.
Oh, okay. So just me. I'm buying those, but that's okay.
Ryan, I wish Todd McFarlane would chime in and tell us why it's so cool for a kid to get a free comic book with his toy.
Because then you can read about it. You can like play with your character, read about your character.
Okay.
Like Star Wars used to do that too with 2-packs, and now those toys go for like hundreds of dollars. Hundreds.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes even for tens.
Tens of hundreds of dollars?
Well, not tens of hundreds, just tens. Usually they're about 80 or 90 bucks for the 2-pack.
Tens of dollars.
But you know what? But yeah, like those were 2-packs that were like what, $20 when they came out. Now some of them are going for like 250.
Right.
Like it's bonkers. And they're just based off the comic, like the toys and the whole thing. So yes, anyways. I digest.
The thing that I can't figure out is the way that McFarlane seems to be so well distributed. Like when I can't speak for there, but when we go to the store, it's not even just McFarlane, DC in general. There is so much McFarlane DC product. There's tons of the Spin Masters, Batman toys. I don't know what it is, but it feels like half the toy section is just filled up with that stuff. I saw the Lex Luthor figure in the spacesuit, the green spacesuit.
Yep.
It's awesome. Like I'm not gonna buy it, but like I was admiring it from afar. I'm not that far. I was in
not that far, but just from an arm's length.
Yeah, exactly.
From the Star Wars section.
I was admiring it
from the empty Star Wars section, right? It's like,
well, yeah.
While Todd has like the entire store filled with his toys, Hasbro has bottleneck issues of getting stuff out. So it's pretty. That's how you turn out to be the best-selling toy line of the year, by having toys.
But where is he producing? Where is this being manufactured? Is it overseas or is it domestic? Because if it's domestic, jackpot, right?
Yeah,
because then it's all produced here. There's no supply chain issues. It's not stuck on a boat. Right? The roads are still open.
Yeah, he picks the right state. He can get those made for cheap too.
In Malaysia, not China.
The Mattel factory is in Malaysia, not China. But like it makes me wonder. The other thing is McFarlane's price point. The McFarlane Batman figures are still at $19.99 here, while all the other lines, Marvel Legends, Power Rangers Lightning Collection, and Black Series have all gone up to $22, $23, $24. So I don't know. Something to figure out. McFarlane, where?
Here's this Joker. He turns into a dragon. He's nice and big and chunky. You can have Batman ride him, and they go into battle together and they fight the Riddler.
Where does he get those wonderful toys?
That's what I was
Where does he make them? I should say.
Where does he make those wonderful toys?
Dude, I'd buy Dragon Joker. I think that sounds great.
Dragon Joker? Please.
Well,
stop.
let's go back to the news. Let's go back to Toy Arc and we'll look at
it. Yeah, we'll look at some of that McFarlane stuff, but there was some NECA stuff last week that we didn't get a chance to cover, so I want to roundtable it and see how we're all feeling here about the. Gosh, what am I doing? I'm pressing all the wrong buttons tonight. There we go.
NECA's releasing me.
Yes.
Finally, we need a Paul figure somehow. Let's talk about Alf. How are we feeling, Jake? The NECA Ultimate Alf. You get the Hawaiian shirt from the animated Alf, all sorts of accessories. What do you think?
I mean, this to me is a 100% must buy figure.
Right.
Like I'm buying this immediately as soon as I see that. I mean, the cat sandwich is enough. Like
that's my selling point. I'm in.
Yeah, this is awesome. I love this. It's a little weird that they put this out and it's unexpected, but I more of this kind of thing.
Right, right. Ryan, how about yourself?
I love that it comes with the soft goods shirt from the animated series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives me hope that maybe they'll make Rhonda and Skip and Rick from the animated series as well. I would love that because Lord knows I don't need a NECA Willy.
I like that you're just breaking down like all the B characters from Alf.
Well, they might do a
30 years.
Well, they might do a cartoon version, like NECA. I mean, not just the Toonie Terrors, but they put out, the Wild
like the Back to the
Stallions
Future
and
one,
Ace Ventura. So like, there's a possibility we could get that.
Sure.
Hey NECA, you're listening, so make it.
NECA is the only toy company that is possibly listening. We're talking into the wind when we start talking about Hasbro. Paul, now I know you're are you waiting for the Hot Toys Alf or is this something you're gonna pick up?
No, you know what? I think it looks fantastic. I love the detail on all the accessories. It's really well thought out. I mean, but am I going to buy it? I don't think so. I mean, I was a fan of Alf when it came out, but this for me it looks fantastic.
Right.
But there's no, I don't have that feeling of nostalgia towards it. And to Ryan's point, when he says, "Oh, for the animated series, I hope it means we get these other figures." It's like, I don't think so, because nobody knows those other figures. Like, that's a deep cut, and you're talking
It's
like,
me.
"Hey, NECA,
We're
we
talking
want
to
some head
Ryan.
warmers. Let's put them on there, right? Like, here's figures from a show that people haven't seen except for a certain amount." I think it looks fantastic, though. I remember Alf. I think that's spot on. But for me, it's like I don't have that connection to that franchise.
Right.
I watched the show, I enjoyed the show, but for me, it's like I'd rather go out and get the Muppet stuff, because I watched that as a kid. There's more of a draw for me. I want Statler and Waldorf in that little, in the theater booth and whatnot. But for me, this doesn't. I didn't have that connection with Alf, so.
Right.
But I think it looks spectacular, and like bravo to NECA for doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Alf kind of missed me, but I wanted to show Ray Cameron's comment. Cartoon All-Stars to the rescue toy line, please. I would have that like assembled just as like the entire team.
I mean, you fantastic. Might. So this is kind of interesting. Hold on. Because now we're touching on something that speaks to me. If you don't know, Cartoon All-Stars to the rescue was the half-hour anti-drug PSA.
It's the Avengers of cartoons.
It is. Now, think about who's in that. Was it Michelangelo?
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Alf, I think you could probably assemble
cigarette smoke as a figure. That would be incredible.
But I'm saying, if they don't make the line, you could probably assemble a lot of these characters and get a good setup in your shelf. Let's
get Papa Smurf.
That's
gotta get the Muppet Babies.
Oh, the Muppet Babies, right?
Muppet Babies, yeah.
Paul, those Diamond Select Muppets are great. They are. And I'm worried about Super 7 announcing Muppet Ultimates because they haven't, but it seems like
it's coming.
It seems with all the stuff they're doing, it seems like it could be coming.
Or even Muppet reaction figures. I could see that happening too. That'll be like they'd be in that same kind of like the old like 79, 1980 Fisher Price figures, right? So they'd be. I could see them doing that as well. Danger.
We were at Target the other day. See, I had picked up Abby what's his name? Star Trek, Will Wheaton reaction figure. What's his name?
Wesley Crusher.
Wesley Crusher. And we were at Target and you saw the other reaction figures.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Are you going to get any of these?" And she goes, "What was your reaction?" The price point? You're ruining my joke.
Yeah, I don't remember.
All right, let me just tell the joke.
Sorry.
She goes, "Wow, reaction figures are $20," and I said, "That's why they're called that, because of that reaction."
You thought I'd remember that?
I thought it was hilarious. I think toy humor is great. But
that was
So what you're saying, that wasn't a memorable moment for you?
That joke was cut out of the Jeffries.
Exactly. I was like,
exactly. There you go. All right, cool.
Cut for time.
Too bad we're live, so that all happened in real time. Let's hold on. We have to. Speaking of Super 7 Ultimates, there's my segue here. Super 7 announced Wave 3 of their Disney Ultimates. And Ryan, I know you and I are both still waiting on our Wave 1 figures. I got a notification that Super 7's bad about this. It wasn't a shipping notification. It didn't say your order has shipped. It said pretty soon it might ship. Okay.
If you wish really hard,
Right.
they might show up.
When you wish upon a star.
Uh-huh.
So Ryan, recap with me. Wave 1 was Fantasia
Little John.
making- Little John.
Yeah.
And what was the third one? Nobody remembers.
Pinocchio.
Right. And then wave 2, I'm not expecting you to remember. Let's just talk about wave 3. This wave threw me for a loop because this is not what I was expecting. So we get Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, which to me was
With 100 different heads.
this was so
Amazing.
they're banking on hardcore Stitch fans buying 5 or 6 of these guys. So I have no frame of reference for Lilo and Stitch other than I've been to Disney a lot and I see the characters and I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. Then we've got the Big Bad Wolf from the Silly Symphony, which is pretty classic, but again, way out of left field. Then we've got the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, which is that makes sense because they're already doing a few of the other Alice in the Wonderland figures in wave 2.
Well, they're doing like that whole second wave is like what the
almost
Mad
all-
Hatter and
Yeah,
Alice and
I'm into that. That's cool.
and then the Ben Alligator from Fantasia. So
which will go good for your background for Roger Rabbit when they make ultimates of those.
oh, is he one of the background characters? So Ryan, I'll just go to you because I don't. Paul, do you get into this stuff at all? Is this in your wheelhouse at all?
No, I mean I've seen unboxings of it. I'm friends with Yoko McCann, who actually works for Super 7.
Oh, right,
And so
right.
she's actually done a bunch of unboxings of the previous wave. So Prince John, Mickey Mouse, the Tailor, with Pinocchio and whatnot, and they look fantastic. If you're into
Right.
that's man. If that's your jam, just go. Again, that's not my wheelhouse. I
Right.
think it looks great, but for me, I don't have a connection with those figures as well,
Right.
and that for me as a collector, if it doesn't really like sort of rock me at my core because I've never seen it before, it doesn't do very much for me. And so like these, they look spectacular. I think they're great, but I'm not into them. So I don't know. And I had no idea there were these issues in terms of like getting these waves out to people. It's
I don't
common. It
even-
feels more and more common lately.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest.
I don't think it's like Super 7's pretty good. I mean, I think the thing with Super 7 is they're people know what their structure is. The expectation is there that you're going to pre-order, then you're probably going to wait a year and a half. But they haven't missed delivery really on waves. So like I think there's a trust there.
It's not that they're missing. It's not that they're missing it. It's just that they're
just a long
announcing.
time.
They're announcing a lot of figures,
right.
and it just takes a long time for the.
Yeah.
It's just people are like, "Whoa."
Yeah, and that's Hot Toys though. I mean, they
Yep,
drop
yep.
announcements for figures. It's like to be released, December 2023. It's like,
Right.
oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's like almost all of season 2 of Mandalorian. If you're into Hot Toys, Mando stuff, it's not being dropped until like next year.
Right,
And,
right.
They're doing that
Boba
to give you
Fett.
time to save up.
I got that.
Well,
I got
yeah,
that
that's pretty
Ahsoka
much
on
it.
pre-order.
Oh, the Ahsoka,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's one of those things you go, yeah. And I used to pay up front, like pay everything up front. It's like, yeah, so I don't have to worry about it. But now I'm like, damn, I'm going to save my money. And
Right.
when it rolls around and they start charging me, like I do the installment plans, right? Which is fine by me. But it's one of those things where it's, you're just like, this is coming out year after next. And by that point, how many more figures are they going to announce? Because we've seen season 3 of Mandalorian, because we've seen season 1 of Ahsoka, because
Right,
we've-
right.
and then it's all of a sudden it's like, oh, do you remember Book of Boba Fett? The mods are finally coming out.
The mods are coming. The mods are
Damn.
coming. You know, it's interesting. This Paul, this is a discussion we've had a lot here about the and I think it's a big issue with the Hasbro Star Wars specifically is unlike Marvel and unlike other properties, we're getting these shows, we're getting movies or whatever, and there's just no toys to buy. Like Book of Boba Fett hit, and there was no Book of Boba Fett presence in the toy aisle.
Yeah.
And I think that's a bummer because like the Star Wars collecting mentality was always built around, hey, there's a new show out. We're going to Toys R Us at midnight. We're buying all the toys, and then we're gonna go, or not show or movie or whatever it is. So it's just frustrating. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I miss that. I miss Force Fridays, like the good ones. I miss those.
But I think
back
part
in
of that
my
was it's all Ryan's fault, really.
Most things are.
But I think part of it is they just didn't want any spoilers either.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's Grogu. You couldn't get him. For
I
a
understand.
year.
Yeah.
I understand the whole not wanting to release the Grogu thing, but man, they could have when I think of we never got mad when they also oh, here's Darth Maul, here's Sio Bibble, here's little Annie, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
We all got if anything, it got us more excited about Episode 1,
right?
When all that stuff came out.
Right.
So even
well,
if
that's
they
the
did
culture.
yeah,
right?
but even if we got more, if they showed us if we got toys of the Armorer, the Heavy Mando himself, Grief Karga, I think just a wave of that before the show came out would have been enough for everyone to get really excited.
Yeah.
Well, it's a pendulum. The pendulum swings in one direction, like spoiler free, versus building up hype for something.
Right.
I mean, I'm working on Avatar, and it's like the stuff that I see on a daily basis, because we're working in a volume, the costumes, the actors, the stuff that we're doing. And I keep saying, just leak a photo. One photograph, a teaser, something would just drive everybody nuts. They would be so happy, and you could build so much buzz if you did that. But we've come to the point in our culture where it's spoiler free, spoiler free. Don't you dare ruin this. Oh my God, you release a soundtrack and you've got the titles of the songs. You just spoiled the experience for me. It's gone to that level of absurdity.
People freak out.
Where it's well, no, we want to keep it a complete surprise.
Right.
And
it was like the Spider-Man No Way Home thing. It's was anything that happened in that movie, and please nobody spoil things in the thing, but any of the big reveals and the people that were in it, everybody knew. It's the worst kept secret ever. So but the difference is what Marvel will do with Spider-Man or they're doing with Doctor Strange is they'll still have a wave of 6 non-spoiler, 6 figures from the movie. I think the real issue is I just don't think the Star Wars toys are selling like Marvel Legends are. I think it's a more these days, because they've priced people out. They've got Black Series collectors, they've got vintage collection collectors. I think it's a little bit of a mess over there.
Cancel Black Series. That's it. Get them out of here.
Paul's quitting.
Paul's quitting Black
We
Series.
should all just,
Yep.
cancel
Paul's
it.
quitting it. I've quit it. We're all quitting it. Geek Dad's life. He's quitting it.
I quit. I
Kicking
can't
him.
believe I quit.
So anyways, that's all fun. By the way, how's the chat going? What's going on over there?
Just a lot of people agreeing. There's a lot of people that are upset that we've never seen Lilo and Stitch. Honestly,
I was just speaking for me. I don't know if everybody
I
hears that.
haven't. I went on a really bad blind date with someone that kept
I've
doing
seen it.
Stitch impressions, so I never went and sought the movie
Hold
out.
on.
You ruined
Hold
it for me.
You.
It was,
How old were you when you went on this date?
I think it was I think I met this dude through MySpace. So it was probably I was 16 or 15 or something.
Okay. I was gonna be
let's get him on the
I thought this was
phone.
Yeah,
'cause
let's
I
not
got a
back
wave
track.
for him here.
Yeah.
He's gonna be excited. We now know
Go see if he's still on his MySpace and log in and let him know.
No.
doing Stitch impressions.
Yeah, I was
yeah.
just not impressed.
AJ, Craig's that was me.
I know. Craig does Austin Powers impressions.
I'll do them right now.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh God. Here we go.
So, Rare Blend says, as a former Disney animator, I'm greatly offended none of you have seen this film.
I have seen this film.
I've seen
There
it.
you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
All right, I guess Craig and I need to get our
Correct.
shit together. We'll watch it tonight.
Listen,
I have not seen it.
There
Yeah.
you go. I'm
Hey.
too busy watching
This
other
is the cool road.
other
We're too
team-ups.
busy.
Starsky and
Oh.
Hutch, Fennec and Boba, Lilo and Stitch can come down later. Anyways, where was I? Oh, right. I love toys. Can I brag real quick? Not brag, but talk about my psychosis. We talked about the DeLorean earlier. everybody, there was all these discussions, in our Facebook group therapy. We have a lot of good toy discussion in there, and somebody was like, "Hey, I really want to buy this DeLorean. Is it too much money? Is this a responsible decision?" And like 10 people were like, "No, buy it, do it now." And not one person was like, "Maybe think about it." But then I was like, you know what? I love Back to the Future. It's Back to the Future is my second favorite movie of all time, right behind Ghostbusters, and right in front of Back to the Future 3. And I absolutely was like, you know what? That DeLorean will look, with that display stand flying, will look so incredible. I don't necessarily know where it's going to go, but I knew that I wanted to make it happen. So I did get on the payment plan. It's, they don't even start taking the payments till like November, and it's 8 or 9 months of payments. So it's like you can figure it out, right? It's about $80 or $90 a month. I decided to do it. But then, just like I was saying earlier with the Ecto, I was like, well, you got to have some figures, and I don't have any Back to the Future hot toys. So I went ahead and pre-ordered Marty and Doc from Back to the Future 3.
You have to.
This is going to be a great display. I'm really excited about it. But then I saw they're putting out a new Anne Hathaway Catwoman figure from The Dark Knight Rises with a new face sculpt, and they had the Bat Pod, and I was like, "Well,
oh, I know what scene you're making."
Stop it. So I went a little.
I support it.
I went a little hectic on the because I don't have rule. Paul, I wanted to ask you about this.
Yeah.
Do you have rules with Hot Toys collecting? I don't have any rules. I just get ones. I have a couple Marvel. I have some Star Wars, but I don't have any like main focus.
My one rule is I got to stay in my lane with Hot Toys.
Okay.
It's got to be Star Wars. I got to stick in my lane.
Okay.
And because if I go beyond it, I'm done. It's just because it's a slippery slope. And so now the problem with that is, so the Ecto-1, that's Blitzway, right? So that's different, right? The Back to the Future one, they don't have that many of the figs, right? And so I pre-ordered. No, I didn't I had ordered already the re-release of the Marty McFly with new Einstein, right? That's a new thing. Right. They added Einstein. Yes. So I didn't have that version of it. And I love Back to the Future. That again, it's one of my things, one of my jams. And I have Doc Brown pre-ordered. So it only made sense. It's like, well, the DeLorean is available because the old DeLorean is done, right? Like it's out of print. You can get it online at extremely, extortion prices.
Right.
But now this has come out and it's like, okay, that kind of scratches that itch. But for me, it's always, it's not, I'm fortunate because I work my ass off. And so the affordability part of it doesn't factor in as much, right? Like these are, for me, in lieu of buying a 1979 Dodge Charger and working on it in my driveway and for my midlife crisis, I buy toys and collectibles. I build proton packs. I do all these things. And this is how I sort of get that out. So, I'm always responsible. My family will eat first before I get a hot toy. But to try to keep that, I try to keep it in that lane. And it's one of those things now, too, because I have a YouTube channel and I do unboxings. And one of my main jams is Star Wars. And I'm doing the hot toys, unboxings and stuff like that. But it's like I'm running out of things to unbox because I've got them all now. It's ridiculous. It's shameful. Like that. It is an excessive amount. I mean, buying toys is a luxury, and I've worked hard for it too. Yeah, it's me.
Yeah,
I worked hard for it too.
I think we should all share a storage unit.
Well, you know what?
Wait, did you say you're having trouble finding things to unbox? Because if all else fails,
there you go.
Yeah, we could do a dual one of these since Craig let us all down.
Okay,
he couldn't wait a week for me to get it.
You open yours.
Oh shit! Wait a minute. You have your Razor Crest.
You got it.
Dude, what do you think you're looking at?
I wasn't even thinking. Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe if you'd waited.
Stop
Done
it.
the joint unboxing.
Well, I'll put it back in the box. And actually, I was such a little. My box came damaged. There was a dent on it, so I did.
Do you
reach
know
out
what?
to
Mine did too.
Yeah, Hasbro.
So I felt like a puncture
Yeah, I see.
here, and
Send
I got
that
another
email.
one like over here.
Send that email. Get a new
is
box.
Hasbro is committed to sending me a new box, so we'll see what
Oh,
happens.
really?
Yeah, I got in touch with Hasbro Pulse customer service. They escalated it to main Hasbro customer service, and they said in April they're going to have. They're not going to be able to replace parts for people because of, like, I don't know, because it's a HasLab and there's limited.
They should
stock
just
and all
send
that.
me a new one.
It's just a new one. I want a whole new one. It's not that big of a deal, but my box was, there's a huge chunk taken out of one of the corners. But anyways, congrats on your HasLab, Ryan. That's very exciting. Paul, I completely agree with you. Staying in your lane if you can reasonably do it. One thing is, these are investments. If you buy that DeLorean in 10 years from now, you decide you need to move on from it, you're probably going to double your money. And some people like to keep a lot of cash in the bank. I like to keep it all right over there. Right behind me.
In a detail. He keeps his cash in a detail.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's the thing. I enjoy that. Like, I enjoy the process of unboxing them. And then, it's finding out, like, doing one scale photography is something that I've really, really sort of awakened my, the passion and the desire to learn from that. And so I find a ton of joy from it. It's not like I just sort of keep them in a back room and they're hermetically sealed and, like, don't ruin the resale value. They're unboxed. I enjoy them. I like putting them on display. I will rotate and curate these spectacular figures, and I find absolute happiness in them. So that's the one thing that's how I justify it. It's like, I'm also sharing them on my YouTube channel, but I also love these things so much, and they're so dope.
Oh,
and that's a thing. And so, and if I find people that who are into them, or like Ryan, our mutual friend Steve, he's never had a Hot Toys, and I got the Stormtrooper Commander, the Hot Toy, and his birthday was up, and I'd already done the unboxing. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to ruin your life. Here it is. Happy birthday. And now he's got, like, this friggin' Stormtrooper. He's like, oh my God.
You can't just have one Stormtrooper.
His reaction was priceless. I really wish I knew you were going to do that, because I would have loved to have filmed that. Because he was
Jake,
I thought he was going to cry on the couch.
First one's always free.
Jake, your life kind of got ruined by Hot Toys a little bit, in the last year, because you avoided it for a long time.
Yeah, I avoided it for a long time, and then one day something snapped, and I ordered, a Luke Skywalker and R2-D2 and an Ahsoka, and now I got a Wicket, and it's like we were at the store the other day, and I was like, oh, am I gonna get this this Darth Vader that they just had a Darth Vader, and I was like, well, let me buy this thing.
But the problem is, it's like there's something that also, like, in your mind where you're like, I don't want to buy a $30 toy, but you'll see, like, a Hot Toy and it's, like, priced at $190. You're like, that's not bad for a Hot Toy,
It's a Hot Toy. That's a little bit.
The way your mind kind of, like, starts.
$200.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Hey, so listen, we all had a fun weekend of toy hunting and things like that. Should we kind of get into some of our pickups and show off what happened over the weekend?
Yeah,
sure.
Let's do it. By the way, if you're new to the channel, make sure you tune in for Toy Anxiety, subscribe, like this video, and also, Paul, could you let everybody know where they could find you on your YouTube channel?
Oh yeah, my YouTube channel, it's Bitter Asian Dude Inc. On YouTube. Check it out. I have a show. Main show is a live stream on Sunday nights called Fun Boxing Sundays, where I open up a geeky collectible. I do a half-ass review, and basically we chat. It's a lot of fun. It's really loosey-goosey. We have a drinking game as well, because I tend to repeat certain phrases, and when those phrases get spoken, you take a drink. So yeah, check me out on that. I also have an Instagram, Angry Appa, at Angry Appa on Instagram. There's some fun reels on there, and sometimes I will throw out some of my cosplays and my other geeky things that I do on that.
Absolutely. For those who don't know, Paul is you're real. You're a real fan. You're one of us. You're a collector. You're a cosplayer. The issue is you're doing it better than everybody. That's the problem for us. You're killing it. Unbelievable.
And you're so good, you're not even keeping the gate. You're just letting anybody in. It's just like,
at least gatekeep a little. At least keep people down. I kid. So let's do it. So like I said, we went to Days of the Dead this weekend, which is a small horror convention in Atlanta. Not great for toys, but I know Abby, do you want to start us off?
Sure. I didn't get a toy there, but I did get some autographs and interactions and some memories.
We collect memories over here.
Yeah, that's what I'm all about. The experience.
Mhm.
Henry Thomas, who played Elliot in E.T. and who's in all of the Mike Flanagan stuff. I met him and I got a photo, which I posted. And he also signed this E.T. VHS tape. It says, Abby, be good, which is this is my medicine, man. Like, this is what I watch when I'm sick, if I'm down, etc. Like, and the ride at Universal is like the most important thing that exists in my life. And I just literally am so happy to get this tape.
Wait, you're sitting on a live stream with your partner and your best friends in the world, and the ET ride is the most important thing in your life?
It's
Okay,
very
just clarify.
I agree with her.
The
Yeah,
first
it was a
time
huge
I
moment.
ever went on the ET ride was with you three.
Aw,
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
that's nice.
The
And
first time,
that's why ET is also special.
there you go.
Yeah, it's not something I got to ride on as a kid, but as an adult, it just took me back to like
Yeah.
feeling those like 80s vibes.
He was great. Henry Thomas,
Mhm.
awesome guy.
Super nice dude.
Super nice.
Should I show the other
Yeah, go for it,
autographs?
go ahead.
All right, cool. I'll keep on rolling. Besides Henry Thomas, Alex Esso, who played the new Wendy Torrance in Dr. Sleep. I met her, and then I met Henry Thomas, which I already mentioned. And this is a Dr. Sleep poster that they both signed, and it's really beautiful. And I know that Jake is jealous of it. He was sitting in the living room, like,
Even though he
yesterday,
was there.
like, man,
And
I don't know
Thomas
why I didn't get it. I'm like, dude.
I was there and also got autographs, but on something different. And then I was at home and I was like, oh, maybe I should have got that autographed instead.
They were super pleasant. It was a really fun time.
Ryan, do you want to go next?
Sure. So I don't
saw your
have a
Razor
lot
Crest
because what I have was big. So as you saw, I did get the Razor Crest showed up today. The guy, my FedEx delivery guy, who now just knows me by name, and he's just like, "Oh, Star Wars toys, huh?" He's like, "Those for your." He goes, he even looks at me with this like smirk, like, "Oh, those for your kids?" And I was like, "No."
I
They're
love
for
that
me.
question. I love
he's
getting
like,
that question.
Yeah, and I was like, "Nope, they're for me." He's
huh?
like, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah, you want to see what it is?" He's like, "Kinda." So I open up the top part right there at the door. And he's just like, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
You
So-
doing an unboxing for your mailman?
I did an unboxing. I did a live unboxing for an audience of one.
Like,
So funny.
But it was,
Did he at
yeah,
least-
dude.
Hey, did he at least
was exciting.
smash your subscribe button?
Yeah, I.
I don't know if I want that.
Okay, that's good. I like that.
Okay.
This also showed up today. The new Marvel Legends Scarlet Witch. By the way, she looks amazing. Oh, hang on, I'll hang tight. Yeah, she looks amazing. Great sculpt, great paint job. She will be coming out of this package. It's weird. I looked at my shelf and I realized I have every Scarlet Witch figure. So clearly she's a favorite.
She's got to meet my Anne Hathaway Catwoman.
Yeah.
We gotta get these two together.
Yeah, and so this is a great toy. I'm actually really stoked I bought it because there was a bit of like, do I still want it? Because I got so many, and then she showed up, and I'm like, this is like the best figure I own. That's a lie. And while I was at, though I do love Marvel Legends a lot, and while I was at the toy show, I also grabbed this Obi-Wan on card.
Clone Wars.
I realized I didn't have this Obi-Wan because I recognized the fact that this Obi-Wan has like a smirk on his face.
I love that.
And it's
And good
the
hair.
first day of issues. So this is like from wave 1 from the first run. So, and I thought, you know what? I love Obi-Wan. I need this.
yeah.
And this was like when we did our little I guess you could call it, we did a gate crasher shopping. Luckily, our friend Matthew, who also runs Toy Traders, he got us in early at the toy show.
Oh, nice.
And we were already like, ah! And-
Running around.
Ryan was. The rest of us were
Yeah,
calmly walking through, looking at different things.
Yes.
yeah.
I don't know how you managed to push down 3 people and there was nobody there, but
Well, I think they were trying to set up their booth, but I just had no time for them.
Just taking out booth owners.
Out of the way! What is this? Oh, this is yours. How much?
Paul, let's. Did you get any pickups at the show besides?
I did.
Black Series
besides breaking my vow, and I got. Well, this is the aforementioned 3A. This is the Dead Astronaut Gangsta.
I love
and this
that.
This was a 1/6 scale. I just saw him standing there, and B from the owner of Cherry Bomb Toys.
Okay,
he's the one that there is. So you can remove. It was just that sculpt.
That
right
is
there.
awesome. You said
And
that's
the level
3-0,
detail.
right?
3A. They became
3A.
3-0 apparently. So it's Ashley Woods was the artist who did a lot of the sketches for it, inspired these toys. And this is from 2012, their series, and the back like opens up and there's a watch battery you can put in there and it lights up the face apparently. I don't have those batteries, but it's incredible. Like there's something about the aesthetic, and now the story behind this figure is he is that universe's version of Boba Fett, except he's cool because he didn't get slammed into the side of a ship and down a Sarlacc pit by accident by a blind dude. So this is a really cool, like, I don't know. And then just hearing about the sordid history of 3A and how the ups and downs of all this, I really, really intrigued me. So now I'm going to do some deep dives and find out more about this particular company in this line. B cut me a sweet deal. He's knocked $100 off the actual price of this. So that was an insta buy for me.
That's great.
And if you want to see his store and everything like that as well, it's his store is featured on the toy stores that made us on
right. There's
on Amazon and he's on there, so you'll find him there if you want to.
That thing's really
check.
Cool. Let's piece.
I also got this sweet little Weta workshop, the mini epics. This completes my Alien line. I got the Ripley and the Kane, and all I was looking for was the Alien. Love that. Love the nod to Giger with this, which wasn't quite seen in Alien, but it is that whole transparent biomechanical nature of the skull of that, which is great. And I love
thing is awesome.
the excretions of the I think it's great. And then finally, I got a Gonk droid. Had to get a 3.75. Yeah, little gonky.
Is that from the new one, the vintage collection one?
This is the vintage collection. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I just saw it and was like, okay,
you gotta have that.
I need a Gonk droid.
That's great.
And I'm gonna use it as a reference because I'm gonna build one. So my youngest kids cosplay as a Gonk droid.
Yes.
I love
that.
He's expressed interest in it. Yeah. So
real quick in the chats, SoCal Sherilyn says, Craig, if you still need a Ghostbusters Ghost Command, my local toy shop has a boxed one. Please slip into my direct messages, Mr. SoCal Sherilyn. I cannot, if it's sealed, it's gone out of my price range by thousands and thousands and thousands.
Dude, ask if they do payment plans.
Yeah, there you go. I just walk into like a local toy shop. Sideshow.com does payment plans. Why don't you? Ron of Ron's Toys in West Virginia. Okay. Jake, why don't you go, man? Well, you got some stuff this weekend.
Yeah, I got some stuff. Like I said earlier, they were all gifts, and I think Jay Key sent me this first one as a joke because I'm always kind of like a little annoyed about how deceptively small a lot of Safubi is. I'll buy Safubi and then it comes in and I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't realize this was 1.5 inches tall or something. So Jay Key sent me the tiniest Biollante in existence. And I love it and it's cute, but it's so tiny. And I love its little card that it's in. But he sent that. He also sent this really cool like remote controlled Godzilla from I think like 95. Yeah, 95. It's just it's cute and it's gonna fit perfectly with all my my cute Godzilla stuff that I have. So
Abby, you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm getting aggressive over
He's
here. I
mad.
really think that's
Abby's
cute. I
mad.
don't want it. I always get mad. I was talking to Jake though this week about getting some Sofubi, so I'll pick up soon.
It all came in, and she was like, "Well, I want to keep this."
Toy Town.
He also sent me the Jet Jaguar from Singular Point, which I know he sent me this so I would buy the rest of the line from him, which is 100% what I'm gonna do. But this guy is a beautiful boy. I love Jet Jaguar, and this is such a weird, awesome version of him. So I'm happy to have this guy as well. God, let's see what else we got.
Real quick, Jake. What? We have to do this. We don't do this enough. We have to get a plug to your co-host, part of the YHS universe, Toku Toy Town.
Toku Toy Town.
Jake has a wonderful storefront. He gets incredible amounts of imported Japanese specialty collectibles, Sofubi, Godzilla, all sorts of stuff. And he even had, and I don't know if it's still up. Yeah, he had for our audience, he had all this great imported Japanese Ghostbusters stuff.
Yeah, there's still some on there.
And like when I say you're not going to find this anywhere else in America, I'm not lying. You're really not going to find any of this stuff anywhere. And if you don't think you need a Japanese Blu-ray copy of Ghostbusters 2, you're kidding yourself. Look at that. I'm buying that right now. $10, add to cart. Thank you. Let's go. So anyways, major shout out. Jay is an awesome guy, and we love what you guys do on Monster Island, and very excited for Toku Toy Town in the future.
He's got the goods, and even though Jay's my co-host, I'm still like, I'm constantly buying. I'm like, Jay, what's on Jay's site? I had AJ add me to his email list of whenever he gets new toys, and so I could be like, I won't just send that one to me. Send this one. I'll take this one. It's awesome. He also sent me this Bandai Space Godzilla, which is great. This one was bigger than I thought it was going to be, which is doesn't happen very often. But this guy's great. Space Godzilla is one of my favorites, and there's not enough. There's not enough Space Godzilla out there. This is from like '95, I think it's the Bandai 94 Space Godzilla. So that guy's cool.
Awesome.
I got one more thing, and it's the big thing. So I don't know if you want.
Okay, I'll show off some stuff. Yeah. Right. Oh, I'll show a couple things here. Because I haven't gone yet. And okay, first of all, this came in today. This is the Rogue One Baze Malbus repaint Black Series figure. Or not repaint, but it's the re-release with the updated face. The Rogue One figures are all incredible. I love that they re-released them, because if you remember when Rogue One came out, it was right before Black Series switched over to the better face sculpts. So unfortunately, it's a reface. The first Jyn Erso and all those figures weren't super great. So I've got all the re-releases except for there's one I'm still waiting on. I'm waiting on Cassian. Cassian Andor. I'm still waiting on that. So yeah, got that. That came in today. This next one is a book, but it is toy related. This is the Blue Milk Vintage Collection Archive Edition, which is a really awesome, several hundred page hardcover book that covers the entire history of the super articulated 3 3/4 Star Wars figures in all the vintage collection. And it's got me really, like we've been talking about this whole time, going down a real dark rabbit hole of, well, I don't have a vintage collection and I don't know if they're ever going to re-release it. And it's $900, but let me just run some numbers and figure out how to make this happen. So yes, that's what it's called, Mr. Jake Stevens, photoreal technology. So the face sculpts are the same, but they somehow take real faces and put on toys. I don't know what they do. It's witchcraft. What am I going to do? Okay. So then we went to, where do we go? Second Chance Toys in Marietta, Georgia. Shout out to them. Awesome local toy shop. We were killing some time and had to stop in. They've got a great selection of vintage Star Wars, vintage G.I. Joe, and the like. So I did pick up a couple things. I got a complete vintage G.I. Joe William refrigerator Perry. This was, I think it was a mail-in figure. This was the Fridge. He was on the Chicago Bears in the 80s. I'm from Chicago.
He fought Bam Bam Bigelow, didn't he?
Yeah, no. You're thinking of Lawrence Taylor.
I am thinking of Lawrence Taylor.
That's fine. It's American football. I don't expect you to know the history of.
I don't.
Of the National.
I don't know
Football
nothing
League.
about American football.
That's fine.
If they're not a Saskatchewan Rough Rider, I don't know who they are.
There you go.
It's okay. I thought that Craig was really buying a refrigerator when he told me this. I was like, we need to get a new mattress first.
How are we gonna put that in the car?
I got the fridge, which was I don't know how deep on the rabbit hole I'm going to go on individual vintage GI Joes. I say that, and then I pick up this vintage complete GI Joe Warthog with Sergeant Slaughter. So keeping up with our wrestling theme for today. Now, these were not impulse buys. They've had these at the store for a while. I did have them in the back of my mind before going there, and I was excited to pick them up, and eventually I'll get it all displayed and set up. So those are my pickups.
Warthog's one of my favorite vehicles when I was a kid. I had that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now,
love it.
I feel like I do have to tell. Well, we're in the toy store and Craig's getting ready to buy this thing, and I believe Craig, you said something like, "Does this come with any weapons?" Into which you were responded with, "It's a fucking tank."
Yeah, I know. Well, what am I supposed to do?
Wow.
GI Joes have a lot of accessories. Now, Ryan, you told me that this floats as well, so I'm gonna have to do a bathtub test on this thing.
You're got to do a bathtub test.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's meant for land and water, so
there you go.
She does.
There you go. Okay, so that's it. Abby, you have one more thing?
I have one little thing.
Go for it.
One last thing. And this was pick up from Second Chance. And when I say little, it is literally from the Littlest Pet Shop. Two little busy hamsters that I picked up. I used to collect my Littlest Pet Shop as a kid. So this was something that I actually owned. And it has like little magnetic tiny hamsters inside of it.
Those are very tiny.
As a kid, I literally like raised hamsters and like we had a whole ton of them. So this is just something that I like and I wanted, and I don't know, something about it soothes my anxiety and just is very cute and adorable to be able to see the hamsters running around.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's early 90s. Kenner actually did Littlest
And I
Pet
think
Shop.
I feel like I want to go back because they have a whole bunch of play sets and other things from Littlest Pet Shop, and I might get like a whole
going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I'm going down the hole.
I think it's time that your house had the largest Littlest Pet Shop.
We want Hot Toys Littlest Pet Shop.
Dude. And also because the toy is called Busy Hamsters, I was like, I have to buy this.
It's just fun.
Because I wanted to say Busy Hamsters as much as possible.
All right. So does anybody else besides Jake have any more pickups? Or is Jake you're doing the finale here?
Jake, you get the big finale.
All right, let's hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Did we tell the first half of the story or no? Do we just need to go through it really quickly?
So why don't you show what it is first?
Last week on Jacob Walsh Pickup.
We'll just
Here's
show
what it
off.
is. You show it off and tell us what it is, and then we can give the backstory.
Well, it's not going to need any introduction. I'm sure everybody, all of our watchers, are going to be super familiar with this toy and know exactly who Orochi the Eight-Headed Dragon is from Yamada Takaru. This is a beautiful figure.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have seen this guy before my whole life. I've always wondered who Orochi the Eight-Headed Dragon was, and thanks to Jay Key, my co-host, who had me watch the film this guy is from, Yamada Takaru, I was like, I need this thing. And as soon as I saw the movie, I was like, hey, you know what? That toy is sitting in Dave's comics up at Craig's because I've always seen it there. Every time we go there, I've wondered, like, hey, what is that? And basically the story is that we were in Dave's, I don't know, about a month ago.
Yeah, it's a couple weeks.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to buy this toy. And I was like, hey, can anybody tell me how much the Orochi is? And they were like, we don't know what you're talking about. I was like, the dragon and the dragon with all the heads. So they get it out of the case. There's no price. They don't know what they can sell it to me for. I know around what it goes for. I got Jay on my phone. I'm like, Jay, what's good here? And they can't get a hold of Dave. So they won't sell me the toy.
Right.
They just basically
Dave's
like,
the owner. The
Wait on
employees.
Dave.
Dave's the owner. He's at a bowling tournament. They're not going to sell me the toy. We leave him our number. And it was that kind of thing where they clearly didn't know what the toy was. one of the guys is like, well, this is clearly going to be a $400 or $500 figure. And I'm like, no, it's not. That's not. It's big and it's impressive. Yes. I know there's 8 heads.
Yeah,
It's
he's
not a
like pricing per
$500
head.
figure.
It's a per head price. Yeah.
So anyway, it doesn't happen. The toy doesn't happen. And then I come up to Craig's for, this past weekend for my birthday. And Craig has bought me this. Craig and Abby got me this toy. Not from Dave.
Nope.
No.
Not from Dave. Because I went back. I said, you know what? I'm going to go back. And I'm gonna get a deal. And I'll just flat out say it. We're very honest here. I messaged Jay Key and I said, how much is this thing worth? And he was like, listen, they've sold for $150 to $250. Do not pay more than $250. So I went. Dave was there. I asked how much it was. They said $400, and I said, well, that's way more than $250.
Yeah.
So we worked out a deal. Like we said, Toku Toy Town, they can get anything. Jay was able to get us one in time for Jake's birthday. And it was
they made it happen.
We made it happen.
Yeah, we were gonna do a
appreciate it.
drive-by at
Thank
Dave's.
you to everybody. Yeah.
Yeah,
Craig.
the running joke was I was gonna go into Dave's and film Jake coming up to the window with his dragon doing the Goodwill Hunting.
Knocking on the door.
How do you like this?
How do you like them dragons?
I like them dragons. So
Yeah.
well, Jake, I'm glad you got
Yeah,
that.
it felt
now.
good to
Thank
give
you.
that to
Yeah, thanks for.
Have you
thanks for
introduced
doing
them to? Have you introduced those dragons to the Sentinel? I feel like they'd all get along.
that. They're getting along okay. The Sentinel and Godzilla are still wearing their get along shirts, so right now they're still in timeout. Everything's okay over here.
Well, good pickups all around. Thank you, everybody. So now we have a controversy here. We couldn't find sad comments this week, so we're basically at the tail end of the show. After last week with all the news, there was the internet was going off, but it's just nothing
McFarlane's
but
deleting his sad comments.
That's it. And I was going to share one more thing, and then we'll call it a night, and we'll say our goodbyes. Just because Ryan called me out earlier, I feel like I have to show this picture. It is right here. Here we go. So yes, Ryan, this is going to be recreated
Oh.
in the room. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So there.
I
Got
knew it.
You knew it.
Mhm.
You
but
pervert.
not until spring of 2023 or whatever. So we got a long lead time.
Mhm.
Paul, thank you so much for joining us. We always do final thoughts and final comments, words of wisdom. What's on your toy docket coming up? Are you going to be in Vancouver still filming for the next little while? What can we look forward to in your life?
Yeah, no, I'm going to be here until shooting doesn't finish until June now. So, excuse me, I will be in Vancouver working on Avatar. There's a lot of other things. I mean, it's nice because everything feels like it's opening up again. And so,
Right.
week before last, it was Vancouver Fan Expo. And, just last weekend was the Comic and Toy Festival. So I've still got a lot of things on pre-order, which is great. And they're coming in dribs and drabs. They're going to my Toronto address, but I can vicariously sort of look through that. But I've also very happy to announce that, I'm getting some Sideshow stuff shipped up here too that I'm going to be unboxing for my channel. Lots of exciting things. I've got a number of great toys from Toy Traders. Matthew Purdy, again, he's been kind enough to lend me things that are outside of my wheelhouse, like statues. And I'm going to be doing some unveiling unboxings of those too. So I'm going to be keeping myself busy because this is a fantastic community, and thank you so much for having me on your channel.
Of course.
I love chatting with you. I love reading the comments. This is something that I feel like it's something that I'm passionate about, and it's nice to meet like-minded people who are passionate as well in this community. And I forgot. Jeez. Yeah, so I'm developing a television series based on fans, basically. I forgot about that. I totally forgot.
We should have led with that. This was like breaking news a couple weeks ago. So please tell us about. Please tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm partnering with. I'm partnering with a great company called Great Pacific Media, and they are. This is going to be a factual show. It's called Fandomonium, and it really is my love letter to fans and fandom. And as I describe it, it is a show for the fans, about the fans, and by a fan. And really what it is I kind of want to shine a light on and go a little bit deeper in terms of like what makes people fans. Like what is it about the human condition that draws us to these franchises, that shares this information, that does a deep dives into these different stories, and as well, that keeps us linked to them. Like Ghostbusters is like 45 years old. Star Wars is 50 years old, and it's what is it about that in us that makes us fans, that we want to gather together to share this, that keeps it relevant. Why is it that certain types of fandom are more acceptable than other types? It's just that really that investigation of the human nature. And at the end, really what I wanted to do is uplift and really put fandom in the shining light, because it is capable of doing so much good. And I think lately it's been just sort of tarnished because clickbait, and it's more fun to just sort of make fun of people who collect things or who do fanfic or this or that. But the incredible amount of goodwill and generosity that I've seen in this community is something that needs to be held up and a light shone on it. And that's what I want this community, this show to be about. It's about community building and just showing people that, hey, it's a win for me if somebody who isn't into any of these things looks at it and goes, that's like me. Like, I like that. Like, what is this about? And that's all I want from this show. And it's going to be really about more community building and getting rid of gatekeeping and really sort of celebrating fans and not having to be embarrassed or ashamed that you're a fan of anything.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, you know what? I love that.
Me
That's
too.
amazing.
Yeah, that
I
was
can't
well
wait.
said.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
community is a big deal, big part of
Yeah.
my life.
I mean, even like, we're obviously all part of like the Ghostbusters community, and like we're on the way outskirts of the Star Wars community. Like we do our Boba Book Club and we have fun, but like, for us, like especially in the toy community, like for toy anxiety, like we want to have fun discussion, thoughtful discussion, sometimes critical discussion, but also like we take it seriously, but we can't take ourselves too seriously.
Mhm.
And one thing, especially on like a lot of the toy channels on YouTube, that's why we love pairing up with like Geek Dad Life and from Forlom to Zuckus and with you, because it's like the main point is to have fun and to be a little tongue in cheek and to just really just celebrate like these passions that we have. So now as far as your show goes, like I know you're in early development on it. We'll wait for updates and we'll see how we'll see how it all plays out. But I'm excited about that, and it's probably fun for you because you have so much fandom that like touches different genres and different different properties and stuff. So it's probably fun for you to come up with like what subjects you want to tackle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's exciting too, and it really is as well about educating. And going beyond my comfort zone too. So like some of the ideas that are being pitched right now are like, it's fantastic. Like the romance novel community and going into, and
I know about that.
right? Like, it's just like,
we have a friend.
Yeah.
who writes
So
it.
it really is.
We ended up at a hotel once just by chance where there was a romance novel con going on. And it was like, imagine what a sci-fi convention is, but it was all, just like women of a certain age, maybe between like 30 and 50 or whatever. And it was just like,
there's costuming.
they were so into it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I read about another one called Christmas Con, where it's just fans of Lifetime movies.
Right.
I was blown away. I was like, I want to go to that. That sounds amazing. Yeah.
And that's the thing. So what's so different from that or dressing up or doing cosplay is like, back in the day, it used to be like, the jocks or whatever, like you could paint your face and wear a jersey and go out in public to support your sports team.
Right.
But if you dress up as your favorite character on a TV show, you're ridiculed type thing.
Right.
But at the end of the day, a fan is a fan. And so what is it about certain types of fandom that are more socially acceptable versus others? Because when you break it down, we're all kind of the same. And this is what I want to explore. These are I want the human stories of what connects us, what makes us want to be fans. And I think by shining the light on that really will hopefully just like expand people's perceptions and kind of go, wow, like there's that great line from Ted Lasso. Don't be judgmental, be curious. And I love that. Because when you learn more about stuff, it really does make everything like it bronzes your mind, and you can start not worrying about what are other people going to be thinking, because they're going to be the same. And that's the thing. This community, there's so much stuff that we have in common. It's something that really needs to be celebrated. And we need to start getting rid of those filters and like really just finding the joy in that and being unapologetic about being fans of things. No one should ever make you feel embarrassed that you like certain things. No one should, right? So, and that's what I'm hoping to do. And I also want to shine a light on the incredible amount of generosity this community has for each other. If you're looking like collectors, if you're like what you did for Jacob is a beautiful example of that, right? Like you guys, you found something for him that it was difficult for him to get, and you did it. And it's I think that's stuff like that doesn't get enough attention. You know, it's always the media wants, some pervert likes to dress up in this and that, and by the way, he hasn't clipped his toenails. It's like shit like that when you're like, come on, man, that's not fandom. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not pervert. Leave me alone.
Well, I didn't want to name any names, Ryan, but since you know yourself,
we know.
I should have got that hoodie.
As long as the show isn't like cold open, Ryan talking to the UPS driver, the FedEx driver. You want to see my Razor Crest?
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Sorry, Ryan. It's just the first thing. Paul, that's all really well said. And I agree. One thing I will say though, like we've been going to Dragon Con in Atlanta for 15, 20 years, whatever. And in Atlanta every year, Dragon Con takes place Labor Day weekend. It's the same weekend as the college football kickoff. And it happens basically on the same street. Mm-hmm. So you have hundreds of thousands of people coming to Atlanta. Half of it's like nerd Mardi Gras. The other half is like, college football, whatever.
Tailgating.
And there used to be issues, right? There used to be actual conflict. But over time, there hasn't been. Like everybody's more chill with each other. The football people come and hang out and they love it. And because I think fandom in general is more accepted now. Like there are more people who are just like hardcore toy collectors, hardcore Star Wars fans or whatever. And I think a show like this can even do more to like put a light on it. So I think that's really great. That's really
even
awesome.
the NHL teams are starting to do like Avengers style openings.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's all kind of like everything's kind of starting to mold into one where it's now the jocks and the nerds are all starting to sit at the same table a little bit. Maybe Jake might not be sitting with the jock anytime soon, but I mean the jocks do want to sit next to Jake.
I'll sit with them. I just don't know what they're talking about.
Brinkley Studios, Paul needs to be a guest at Dragon Con. We would love to have you.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure as soon as things are opening up and getting safer, I'm sure you're gonna be doing all sorts of stuff like that. So all right. Who else has a final thought? Paul, thank you for sharing. We'll be looking forward to seeing that.
Nobody's following that final thought. That was the best final thought.
How dare we?
The only thing it was missing was the music from Independence Day speech.
Oh,
That's
right,
all
exactly.
We'll not go quietly into the night.
Well, I mean, I was going to talk about my show that I'm developing, but I guess I'll just save it for another night.
It's toy collectors buying toys in the shower.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It's how to eBay while showering.
On eBay.
There's a really good way you can do like 3 buy it nows between your rinse and repeat cycle. It's very fascinating. We're going to call it, everybody. This was an incredibly fun episode of Toy Anxiety. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Ryan, Jake, Abigail, obviously, as always, there's a lot of love here. And Jake, this is the last time I'm saying it because it's been a 3-week event. Happy birthday.
Happy week-long birthday. Happy Batman Day.
The reason we're doing this tonight is because Abby and I are seeing the Batman tomorrow. So everybody who's going to be seeing Batman this week, enjoy. It's a big, momentous, exciting event for all of us fans of The Dark Knight.
He's all right.
I don't know why I said it like that. So anyways, all right, everybody, we will see you next week. Join us every Tuesday for Toy Anxiety, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Follow us on social media at YHS Podcast, and tune in for more toy, action figure, Ghostbusters, and Star Wars content. We will see you next time. Goodbye. Cue the music. Here we go.
Get that music.
There's the music.
All right.
And by the way, Oliver Jones out of England, who made this animation for us. I can't get enough.
And if you like it, hit that like button.
Watch it all day.
Hit the like button.
This is where the fun.
All right, everybody. See you next time.
Yeah.